Can you even believe how big these rhubarb stalks are? It's time to go make some simple syrup, and I'm gonna show you exactly how to do it. But see that red part right there? That's gonna make the simple syrup so beautiful. And the cool thing about simple syrup is even if your stalks have gotten just a little bit woody, it's still gonna make delicious simple syrup. So I don't typically let them get this big, because a lot of times if they get this big, this part right here, which is what you want to eat, starts to get really tough. When they're a little bit smaller, they're a little bit softer, but these still feel pretty good. So let's go make it. Before we head into the kitchen, I got to give you one tip on how to harvest rhubarb. You don't need any snips. You just reach all the way down to the base of the plant, wiggle the stalk, and pull, because you want it to pull away down from the base where it's going to send up a new shoot. Okay, see, reach all the way down there, wiggle, pull, and oh, that feels like the biggest success when it comes away from the base like that. So here's the interesting thing about rhubarb. You don't want to eat the leaf. The leaf actually has some toxins in it that if you ate too much of it, it could harm you. But the stalk doesn't, which is so amazing. The leaves, though, we just put into our compost. So those are gonna go in there. The first thing I do is I take those leaves off, and we're gonna wash it. And now let's make our simple syrup. The basic recipe is you are gonna do 1 cup of water, 1 cup of sugar, and then I usually do 1 huge rhubarb stalk or 2 smaller ones. But today I'm making a double batch. So I have 2 cups of water, 2 cups of sugar, and then I'm going with 3 big rhubarb stalks. Now I start by cutting the bottom off of the rhubarb. That part that was connected to the base of the rhubarb, that's not the part that you want. So put that into your compost. And then this part, you can chop and chunk up your rhubarb however you want. I like to do it into, like, I cut it in half and then I cut those into smaller slices, mainly so that it can cook down evenly. And then at the end, you'll see we're not going to get rid of this rhubarb. This is all going to turn into the most delicious rhubarb sauce, kind of like how you would make applesauce. So as the rhubarb cooks and infuses the sugar water, it's also softening the rhubarb up, and it's so delicious. You can put it on top of ice cream, yogurt, cottage cheese. Sometimes I'll spread it on a piece of toast, like you name it. You can use it however you want. But just know this is a multi-purpose recipe because you're getting the simple syrup, but you're also getting a really tasty rhubarb dessert. Ooh, one time I used it to make jam bars. So good. So get it all chunked up, throw your rhubarb into the pot, and then we're going to put it onto the stove to simmer. I like to put a lid on it because I don't want any of the moisture to actually escape. I don't want it to cook down so much that we're like getting more and more concentrated simple syrup. So I keep the lid on as it's simmering, and then if you want to, this isn't required, you get to choose. You can do all sorts of fun add-ins. Today I decided to do some lemon rind and some orange rind, and that simmers in there and gives it this really delicious kind of light citrusy flavor with the rhubarb. Sometimes I throw in jalapenos if we want it to be spicy, but get creative. You could do limes. It's so delicious as it all simmers together. And this part takes about 20 minutes. So make sure, lid on, set your timer for about 20 minutes, and then I let it sit on the stove for a while. You can see it's still simmering here, and that's fine. You can strain it straight away, or it can rest on the stove and cool over there. And now we're going to strain it. And I just pour it real slowly in so that the liquid can begin to strain out of the sauce. And then once you get all of it into your strainer, let it just rest there. You can cover it if you need to, but it needs to sit for a little while so all the liquid can strain out of that sauce. Once you strain it, it needs to cool so that you can make a fun drink with it. And of course, silver will entertain you while you wait for yours to cool. You don't want to make a drink with hot simple syrup unless you're making tea, but you don't want to make a cold drink. The rhubarb sauce has been straining, and oh my goodness, it's so good. Don't get rid of that sauce. You basically made think of it like applesauce, but it's with rhubarb. And okay, I forgot to catch it on video, but I threw a couple blueberries in when it was simmering so that it would make the color so beautiful. So are you ready to see how pretty it is? Silver is helping. Ready? Here we go. Look at how beautiful it is. And I'm pouring it through another strainer just to make sure that we don't have any chunks in our beautiful simple syrup. Isn't that so pretty? Now I'm gonna put the link to these bottles down below. You can get a whole set of them. I found this set on Amazon. Look at how beautiful it is. You can make that. Now are you ready for this drink? You can make either, you can make it mocktail style. So I'm gonna make it a mocktail style for Maddie. And then I'm also, Maddie's over here, she's making dinner right now. She's making some mashed potatoes for dinner. So if I have to pause, it's because we're making mashed potatoes. Okay, you can use this simple syrup for all sorts of different fun spritzers and garden recipes. So the one that we're gonna do today, we're just gonna call it a rhubarb spritz. I put the full recipe in the description below, but here's what you need. 1 shot of gin, 1 shot of your simple syrup, and half of a lemon squeezed. Plus, you're gonna top it with Prosecco. So that's all the ingredients that you need. But this base of the drink that doesn't have the Prosecco in it, you can make a really big batch of it. Shake it up, strain it off of the ice, and you could keep it in the fridge and it is ready for you to serve multiple people drinks. Because, you know, having a fun cocktail is so great, but then sometimes you get stuck making them one at a time. So batch this part out. And the reason why you want to shake it with the ice is because you want to chill all of these ingredients really good, but then pour it off the ice so that it's not diluting down any of this base part of the drink. And you'll see it doesn't come like gushing out of the shaker because there's pulp in there. And so the pulp is getting strained out as I pour it in. One thing to keep in mind is that when you pour this portion, the base of the drink, into your glass, you don't want it to fill the glass all the way up because you need to have space for the Prosecco to go in. Then, after you've put the Prosecco in, give it a taste. If you want it to be a little sweeter, you can put a little bit more of that simple syrup in. So I shook up lemon juice, simple syrup, gin, and then you top it with just a little bit of Prosecco. So this is our cocktail version, but look at it, it's still just as beautiful. And I'm gonna do one of my lemon rind, which if you go in a circle or a spiral on the lemon peel, it will keep that shape a little bit better, which is kind of fun. If you want to put some rhubarb in there, do a really deep cut on one of the edges and see how it's coming off really beautiful. And we get that nice red part of the rhubarb. And this we're going to make into a little spiral as well, but I don't want it to be that long. A little spiral, and now it's on the edge of the glass. And this is a rhubarb simple syrup made into the most lovely garden spritz. And Maddie has hers right there, mocktail style.
It's a bit full.
Ooh. I know, what do you think?
That's very good.
It's so good. Okay, the recipe is in the description below. I'm putting the links to like all of the stuff that we did, but also I'm putting the blog link down there so that if you want to print it, go to the blog, print that, and if you love this recipe, come hang out with us more. You can make all sorts of delicious sourdough bread and serve it with your garden spritzers, and we have a cookbook too. So if you need a cookbook to fill your table with goodness, grab our cookbook. That link is below as well. We're so glad that you're in the garden and in the kitchen and at the table with us.
Yum.